Stop streaming Dolby Atmos surround sound demos from YouTube. They're fake. They're all fake. At best, YouTube produces 5.1 channels of surround sound. So in the best case scenario, you're testing the upmixing capabilities of your receiver or processor, and that's assuming you have it configured correctly. No, in this video, we're going to show you exactly how and where you can get real and good Dolby Atmos demos for free. Stick around. Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, home theater enthusiast and lover of all things tech. And I recently just got done building my dedicated home theater. So like many of you, I want to have some demos I can use to show off my home theater to anyone who visits. And I mean, you can use movies, of course, but Dolby Atmos demos are more purposefully built to show off the capabilities of your system. So Trinnov, which makes some of the premier audio equipment out there like processors and amplifiers, etc., have made these trailers available to anyone who wants them, and there are two ways that you can get them. One is if you have a Kaleidoscape. You can just go into their store and search for Trinnov and you'll see all the trailers come up. You can download them and have at it. The other way for those of us who don't have a Kaleidoscape is to go to the Trinnov website, which I'll provide with a link in the description, and sign up, and you'll have access to their ever-growing list of trailers. They have 8 so far, 9th one to be released very soon. So it's a constantly growing list of demos. And take it from me, Trinnov knows surround sound because I've had their processor for about 2.5 years now, and it's the best processor I've ever used, bar none. So they know what they're doing. And as I mentioned before, there are 8 trailers, and I think they'll provide for a different experience and kind of test the different capabilities of your system. So whether it be, object panning from left and right, back and forth and across the room, or creating subtle atmospherics. And since you're testing out your system, you want a demo with lots of overhead movement and sound, of course. And I think my favorite for that is actually the Music Machine 1 and the Experience trailers. I think those two provide for some really good sound movement across the room, both above and in the bed layer channels. Trailers or demos, whatever you want to call them, have a lot of object movement around your room, from side to side, of course, in the bed layer channels, and above your head, overhead as well. So from back and forth and side to side above you as well. So it provides for a really immersive experience. So you can definitely hear what your system is capable of and show off that capabilities to anyone who wants to hear it as well. And while I can't let you hear over the video how the trailers sound, I can actually show you using the Trinnov's Object Viewer. Now, this is a feature of the Trinnov that enables you to see exactly what your speakers are doing. So this tool shows you how active your speakers are, and once a speaker is active, it lights up in green. But what it also shows you is the dynamic objects in the audio file of whatever you're listening to. Now, these dynamic objects are not channel specific, and they're actually reproduced by the speaker that's in the vicinity of where that specific object is. So as they move across the room, then whatever speaker that corresponds to is what reproduces the sound. So this is great for high channel count systems. So say if you have, 9 bed layer channels and 6 overhead, and if you have that, you'd know that in some instances, some of your speakers aren't used, like front wides. But once there's a dynamic object in a soundtrack, then it can utilize all of your speakers once there is an object in that vicinity. And you can see how active this mix is. Not only are the overhead speakers lighting up in green as you see here, but also the dynamic objects are moving across the room, and the speakers, whether they be the bed layer or the overhead channels, are producing these object sounds as they move. You can see the whirlwind effect here, and it's really crazy. It sounds awesome and is a great demo. My channel count is a 5.4.4. So you can see the 5 bed layer channels, the 4 subwoofers, which are represented up front, and the overhead channels, the 4 in-ceiling speakers above. The Music Machine number 1 is one of my favorites. It has a lot of sound overhead with the different instruments, the improvised instruments. So if you see that, you'll know what I mean. And you hear the different instruments in different parts of your room, not necessarily from a particular speaker, but actually placed in the room itself. It's really well done. The experience trailer is another one I really like as well. There's a lot of dynamics for sure, and there's this one part where there is a lot of sound from the back to the front of the room overhead, which also, again, really well done. Rose of Rose trailer is another one with, I think, a lot of subtle atmospherics, so it's not as in your face as some of the other trailers, but it provides for a very great atmosphere. So it's subtle as the rowboats multiply on screen. You'll hear different effects from you know, the rowing to breathing and what have you, and it appears just like you are surrounded by the sound as the rowboats multiply. Again, really well done. These are all free, so you can download one or all of them if you like. And how you play them is you'll need a media player. So I have tested playing them on Google TV and on WebOS, and they just did not work. The video worked, but the audio did not get transferred to my processor, even when I had pass-through enabled. It just didn't work. What worked consistently for me was using the Zidu UHD 8000 player. That's a 8K media player, and it was purpose-built for doing exactly this, for playing back media files, whether it be from hard drives or from a flash drive like I had the trailer stored on. A media player like an NVIDIA Shield using the right media playing software may also work, but I haven't been able to test that, so your mileage may vary on the utility of an NVIDIA Shield for playing back these trailers. But if you have a media player like a Zidu, you can definitely play back these files. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've experienced these trailers and which one is your favorite and which device you're using to actually play these trailers, whether it be a Kaleidoscope or another media player. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood villain man saying be safe and peace.